What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Season 2, Episode 19 of Hit the Books. We're into our 18th week of football in the NFL, some extra football this week, and we are ready for it. This week, we'll run through some things in the NHL, MLB, and NBA as well. Always happy to be here for another week in our 20th episode this season, 67th overall, and I couldn't have done it without my co-host, Huff, Ace, and Mackie. Let's shoot over to Mackie to get us going this week. What's going on, Mackie?
What's going on, guys? Coming off a pretty slow week gambling. Not a lot of us had a lot of plays this week, but doesn't take away from the great football action we had. Coming into week 18, obviously a lot of do-or-die games, especially for both of your teams. You got the Patriots in a do-or-die game, and Steelers need to win and need some help. So obviously we're going to have some good football this week, and just another week gambling football, talking sports.
Good stuff, Mackie. Excited to hear what you got this week. Shooting it over to Ace next. Mackie said it, a tough game coming up here for your Patriots. Need a win. What do you think, Ace?
Yeah, every game's a tough game for these Patriots, and we're always looking for a win at some point, too. Nothing new, so we're back in the saddle. But, yeah, like Mackie said, light week on the book for me, actually, and have an NFL play documented on the card. I attribute that more to sickness than anything. Had to miss that Patriots game, which was tough to see. Never missed those, slept through it. Not feeling too well. Feeling good about this episode, though. Got a win from them. And tough thing, though, got a little slap in the face by the Patriots and the Bucks pulling out wins last week. The one time I'm not able to lock it in. Been doing it all year. And my lock of the week, those Jaguars -4 handled business with ease. So,
it's a big kick in the dick. You don't get any plays out after you've been riding them all year.
Yeah, right. And literally, everything I said on the pod last week turned true a bit. But what are you going to do? I'm here for Week 18. Usually the good teams show their colors in the end of the season. So obviously we have a weird week here with a lot of different scenarios going on for whatever team. So excited to look at that, and a really great Winter Classic to end the holidays too. So got a lot of other sports to talk before we jump into this last week of the regular season.
Yes, very excited to talk about the Winter Classic, as you said, Ace. First, let's shoot over to Huff. Huff, what do you think? Steelers need a win this week, like Mackie and Ace said. What do you think?
Yeah, excited, obviously. You get Week 18, you get the jitters, you got the playoffs coming up. Obviously, that's what we all look forward to throughout the regular season. We're all like, let's get to the playoffs. We can't wait for these games to mean more. Like you, Mackie and Ace both alluded to, we have a couple big games this week, Steelers being one of them. Mackie, you said we need some help from another teams. One of those is we need the Bills to take down those New England Patriots. And I believe the other one is the Jets over the Dolphins. But I will be in attendance for that Steeler game on Sunday, so I'm definitely looking forward to that and hoping they can get the job done.
Good stuff there. I did not know you were going to that game Sunday. Good stuff there. All right, let's jump into some news from all around the leagues. Let's start off with the NHL, the Winter Classic. The 2023 Winter Classic has concluded, being played on January 2nd. Pens and Bruins at Fenway Park. Great game overall. Bruins taking down the Penguins, winning 2-1. After a desperation goal late for the Penguins as time runs out. Ace, let's shoot it over to you to get us going here. Your Bruins taking down Huff and Ice Penguins. Great game overall. What do you got for us?
Definitely a great game, great atmosphere. Probably one of the coolest venues you can have it at in the United States, in the historic Fenway Park. But yeah, Bruins on national television, another week for the NHL, talking the NHL, talking about the best team in the league. So gotta love that. But other than that, the Bruins, like I said, on national television in front of a big audience, I was expecting a lot more. I was actually disappointed by their performance. Obviously, we pulled out in the end, but a lot of the guys didn't look ready to go. I know it's a soft ice, but both teams had to play with those conditions. And Linus Ullmark really had to keep us in it most of the night, which he's been doing all season. I mean, Vezina candidate for sure. But Pasternak was not himself. Maybe he was caught up in the moment. Maybe he was hungover from New Year's Eve and streaming with Jake DeBrusk on Twitch and his Fortnite antics, but nonetheless, the Bruins pulled out another victory, so you can't be mad about that. And great to watch on TV. I mean, you can't beat a Winter Classic, my favorite event in all of sports. But yeah, definitely happy that clock didn't have an extra second on it, or else we would have gotten some bonus hockey, which I would not have been a fan of. But I know Huff was on the edge of his seat watching that one.
This is just one thing I want to say about this game before Huff you jump into it is that yeah, you said Ullmark had a really good game, and I think most of the season, obviously his stats are very well. He has under a two goals against average, and he's got over a .925 save percentage. But I think his stats are a little inflated due to how good that team has been this season. But I think this is the first game where he really shown that like the team really relied on him, because I think they were outplayed for 2.5 periods this game. And Omar showed why he's in the Vezina running right now, and that's the first time I think I've really seen it this year from Omar, where he's had to keep your Bruins in a game. So just wanted to point that out real quick.
No, that's a good point.
He has a few shutouts, but you're right. They got outplayed so much, and that's kind of been the story as of late. Just some slow starts from the Bruins, and then picking up in the third period and really playing their game. That's why I was disappointed they didn't take it to the Penguins all night. They really were drinking from the fire hose for the first 2 periods. But I'm sure Hoff's going to touch on that here.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, watching the game, I didn't really think it was going to be too much of a high scoring game. I like the under. That's what I ended up taking. I took the under in the full game in the first period, the 1.5. I ended up live betting the Penguins because I missed out on it. Obviously, they're up 1-0 most of the game the way they were playing. I think I texted one of you guys. I was with Jesse. I think I texted you guys. I said, if Bruins tie this, I'm definitely going to get it on the Penguins. I did that. Obviously, it didn't work out for me. So, but I didn't really think it was going to be. I feel like most of these Winter Classics, I always think of the ice conditions, and I'm like, well, if the puck's not moving too fast, that usually means there's not going to be too many goals. There's going to be a lot of mistakes. So, a 0-0 end of the first and a 2-1 final, I wasn't really sweating those at all. But with the play of the game, like Mackie said, the Penguins were obviously controlling pace and controlling the play for most of the game. And once DeBrusk got that the first one to tie it up, I obviously still liked the Penguins' chances. I thought at that point we were going to go to overtime 1-1, maybe a shootout, just because it's kind of the Winter Classic. I feel like that's happened in a lot of them. Obviously, we saw it with the Penguins' first one in Buffalo. Just kind of like a storybook ending to the perfect venue and all that stuff. I thought it would have been kind of cool if it would have went to overtime. And then we saw Taylor Hall coming down the left side with 2 minutes left on Casey DeSmith. I didn't like my chances with him to stop that puck. He got the stop on Taylor Hall, and then DeBrusk was right there. Like, literally, you couldn't have shot that rebound any faster. Like, he had next to no negative time to react. Like, that's puck.
That's Jake DeBrusk for you. He's been making a career off that.
But I'm saying it was off his pad, on the ground, back in the net. Like, that was the fastest reaction. Like, DeBrusk was right there, obviously. I mean, great play. That's won the game. And then, like you said,
talk about the second goal.
Yeah, he had the second goal. If only there could have been a second and a half maybe left on the clock, that would have been nice. But
yeah, I'd say
it was less. It was way less. It was like
coulda.
0.6 maybe.
Yeah,
shoulda, woulda,
like you said, Huff. Like just Taylor Hall coming down the wing. He's on the third line for the Bruins. So you guys really did control the whole game. I was surprised the Bruins came out so flat. But
I was more impressed with that. That's why I'm not so like salty about how we lost, is because I'm like, we were playing, like, I hate to be like we lost, but we were the better team, because obviously we weren't. We lost. But like, control, when you see a team that's supposedly like older in age, these are like the Bruins are obviously the best team in the NHL. When I see my Penguins keeping up with that, I'm like, this is the team you have to go through to get to the Cup. So if we're going on our last dance, this is the team we got to see if we can play against. And obviously the last time we matched up against you guys, it was very back and forth, high scoring, and then this one was 2-1. So we've seen two really good matchups between us, and I think if these teams were to see each other in the playoffs, it'd be definitely a very interesting matchup. Home ice would come into so much of an advantage in that series, I think.
Yeah, obviously you can't take too much out of it with a Winter Classic, like you were saying earlier, sloppy game, But the Bruins, it's been this, like I said, the story the last few weeks is they've been taking a goal to wake them up. Like, really, they need that one against them. They start playing. But you saw when the third period started, they really just started attacking, and they come in swarms with lines of Marchand and Bergeron. Then you have Krejci and Pasternak, and you have Coyle and Hall. And it's really a relentless attack. And finally it came through, just net drives and whatnot. Something big to come out of that game. Jake DeBrusk scored those 2 goals to win the game with a broken fibula, and he's going to be out for a while now. So that's a tough blow for the Bruins team. But kind of a crazy sports moment. Play with their broken fibula.
I assume you saw it, Mackie. Did you? Or Ace, maybe you didn't. Did you guys see what Montgomery said in the locker room after the game? But basically what you just said, like, you guys just keep finding a way. You just keep finding a way to win these games, and obviously a comeback from not a major comeback. We've seen this Bruins team come back from bigger leads this year so far, but 1-0, and the way that game was going, it looked like DeSmith was maybe going to stand on his head. I was like, dude, there's no way he shuts his team out. And obviously I was wrong, or I guess I was right saying that, but once you guys got that, Go ahead.
It's crazy. This Bruins team literally gets like a jolt in the arm out of nowhere, like one little play, and then they
Yeah.
turn up their game to that top notch. And they've been doing it as of late, not as much, but throughout the season, we've seen when they have that game on from puck drop, they can smoke some teams. They can put up a lot of numbers, like Mac was saying, and not have to rely on Linus Ullmark. So, just a good team finding ways to win. That's what it takes. I mean, good teams win those games.
I was gonna
right?
say good teams win that kind of game. Like that was the kind of thing. I'm like, if the Penguins win this, you don't win this with one goal. You got to go get that second goal.
Mm-hmm. And they had their chances, but Ullmark was playing so well. He's been playing. He's feeling it. That pad setup too, Mac. You like that one? Who won the pad setup? DeSmith or Ullmark?
Smith didn't even think he was gonna get in.
True.
His was nicer than Jerry's though.
I didn't even see the Smith's pads. I didn't really pay attention to them that much. Like I don't know.
Oh,
them
he
in
used the
back of my head.
cream. The cream. I
Oh
like that.
yeah, I do remember that. Those were kind of fresh. Jari's was Jari's the all black?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jar's black.
The little
Jari loves the all black setup. I think it's
I
the
like
dustiest
the all
thing
black
It's so
ever.
dumb. I hate it.
Dusty.
I love
Swayman
It's such a
had the-
Jari thing to
Swayman had
do.
the classic vintage throwbacks on. Somebody had to.
Sway,
Yeah,
man.
If you, I mean, any NHL goal
Looks
you
really
can pull
good
off the
opening the
brown
door, I'll
pads,
tell
but
you
if
that.
you're gonna do that anywhere else but the NHL, you got to be really good to pull those off.
Definitely. But yeah, no, great winter classic. I don't know about you guys. That's one of my favorite events in all of professional sports. And my Bruins getting to play in yet another outdoor game. I know your Penguins have played in a bunch of them too. Love to see it. Boston always puts on a show.
This is what I said to Jesse when we were sitting there watching. I said I wanted to do this, but I forgot to say something about it. If you guys could think of one venue that it hasn't already been at, and you're like, this would be sick, where would you think it should be?
Wrigley.
Wrigley, that would be cool.
That'd be pretty dope.
I
I
said
don't know. I think it's
Lambeau.
You think a football field would be nice?
I like it at football stadiums better than baseball.
Nah, baseball you have better vantage points though.
No,
I think
no
it's
chance.
the
Totally
opposite.
disagree.
Yeah, I think it's the opposite.
I went to Philly. I went to the Flyers.
Some
Penguins
maybe, but
Stadium
not
series.
all.
I went to Flyers Penguins Stadium series, sat 3 rows back from the 50-yard line, like probably some of the best seats you can have in the house. Still couldn't see too much.
Yeah, but if you
I
think
mean, you
about
can't
it,
really
like a
see much
football,
from anywhere.
Yeah, that's
A
why I
football
don't
field
like to
in
go
an-
to the winter.
I
That's why
sat
I
over
don't.
top of the rink in Chicago and I couldn't see shit.
like a football field and an ice rink resemble each other a lot better than a baseball field and an ice rink. So like I don't know. I feel like an NFL stadium
NFL
would be.
sidelines are just wider.
Yeah. Well, that's
But,
like I
no.
said. I didn't know if the
That's a
field
good
was wide
question,
enough.
though.
I said this to Jesse. I said they should put the rink side to side, but we figured out the fields aren't wide enough. I mean, some of them could be, but that'd be sweet. You'd probably have a lot better views.
This is more so less of a winter classic and a stadium series thing. Like Lake Tahoe, I thought that was cool. They did it at like a landmark more than like a stadium. Like do something at the Grand Canyon or something like that. That'd be pretty cool in my opinion.
Yeah.
That would be cool. Doing it somewhere like big.
I don't know how good the ice would be in the Grand Canyon though.
Oh, they
If
can do
They
it.
had it out in L.A.
They
had
can
it in
do
L.A.
it.
and Dallas. They could do it everywhere.
Dude, they would never do it because of like the ice
South
regulations.
Beach.
But imagine just like straight up on a pond in fucking the middle of Canada.
Yeah,
That'd be badass.
that'd be
That'd
dope.
cool.
Like
But
Nova
no,
Scotia
Miami,
or
South
something.
Beach, something like that. That would be nuts.
Yeah.
The nightlife in the background.
Middle of downtown Miami. Well, with that, let's check out the Winter Classic for next year, 2024. Will take place at T-Mobile Park in Seattle, Washington, featuring the Vegas Golden Knights and the Seattle Kraken. I think it's going to be an interesting matchup. You know, two very new teams here. No retro jerseys for them to really go off of, but I know Huff and I talked about this. We hope they pick up some other teams' jerseys, like Vegas goes with like an old Raiders jersey or something, or the Seattle goes with an old Mariners jersey or something. What do you guys got on this? Anything on the next year's Winter Classic?
I just think it was such a reach by the NHL to get these teams involved. There's so many teams that have been around and successful in the past 5 to 10 years that deserve this national spotlight and venue like the Winter Classic, that Seattle's been a team for 2 years. I know they're a young and exciting team, and obviously Vegas has had their success, so I guess you could say Vegas deserves it more than Seattle. But I'm very interested. Was interested to see Seattle get the host spot. I guess there's nowhere really to do it in Vegas. Like, no outdoor venue. I guess there's no baseball field or football field there that's outdoor. I mean, they could do it at the Raiders Stadium, but it's not going to be outside, so there's no fun in that. So, but I don't know. There's so many other teams I'd rather see in this game than these two brand new teams. This is a stadium series, not the Winter Classic. They should have done this as a stadium series, just one of those random outdoor games that no one actually cares about. The Winter Classic, everyone watches. No one wants to watch these two teams. At least on the East Coast, no one cares about this game.
I agree. That was actually a good. I think this is more of a stadium series game.
But my original point, I'm to what Jesse said, I'm what jerseys are they gonna wear? They don't have anything the Bruins went with the classic look. The Penguins went with their old school. I know the Penguins are running out of ideas. They've been in 6 outdoor games, so it's
yeah, Bruins have been in 6 as well. It's how many more do you got?
Yeah, it's
but they have them.
They're running out of ideas. That's why with the Fenway Park thing, the Penguins kind of ran with the old Pirate jerseys. I thought they were kind of fresh. I didn't really like them at first, but I did end up liking them. But what is Seattle gonna do? I'm my only thing was they should just wear a Mariners jersey if it's gonna be at the Mariners field.
No, I think they might go with a actual Kraken type logo. I think they'll go with a Kraken looking thing. You can make it pretty sick. Knights get a knight going on there. They have a lot of options. But
haven't they already had every color jersey that they have? They have a teal jersey, they have navy.
Yeah, but black. They do letter logos.
Yeah.
But no, the thing that I have to say on this one is I'm going to disagree with you here. I'm very excited for this matchup. I think Vegas is one of the most bandwagon teams in the NHL. For non-hockey fans, people that aren't traditionalists, if they're to gravitate to a team, surprisingly, a lot of them I know go to Vegas. And I personally am a big fan of them. I like the style of hockey they play. I like the culture. I like the names they have there. They have Stone and Eichel, Pietrangelo, Carlson. They have Bruce Cassidy on the bench, and they're playing in Sin City. So it doesn't really get better than that. And the success they've had throughout the years is unprecedented. And then on top of that, Seattle is actually starting to build together a team that's going to be very exciting to watch over the next few years.
No, I agree. I'm not downplaying the team they are. I just I'm thinking of the history, the winter. When you think of the Winter Classic.
Oh no, I agree with you. The original 6 teams.
Yeah, even the Penguins, they're not. I mean, they're not original 6. But
yeah, no, but
most of the times it does involve an original 6 team.
Storied franchises, at least. Mm-hmm. That's a good way to put it. But I agree with you. But they, like you said, they played in so many games, and then you add in all of those stadium series. You have to get new names out there in the market, and you're not going to grow the game better than this. For a league that is very lacking in their ability to grow the game, I think that they're actually doing it for once. And the one time I've seen NHL promotional videos anywhere on TV and all over the internet has really been for this last Winter Classic. So I think they're going to get more progressive and get these teams out there and really build that fan base to a new level. One thing that I just thought of, actually, not to ramble on, is did you watch the intermission of the game with the black keys and whatnot?
I wasn't really paying attention at the intermissions.
Exactly. So nobody was. Everybody got up because I like the black keys, but not many people do. And the stadium definitely wasn't rocking with it. You get Vegas, Seattle, you have a lot of different opportunities to get entertainment there. And I think wherever it is held, what city is it held in? It's in Seattle?
It's in Seattle at the Mariners Field.
Yeah, that's going to be a pretty crazy week of hype up to this game next year. So I'm excited to see all the things they can throw together to get this one going. I think it'll be a good matchup next year.
I don't know, I was thinking even Rangers Islanders, that'd be sick. And
they've already done Rangers Islanders.
Have they?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the Rangers Islanders Devils. They did a stadium series thing. It was,
that's right. Yeah.
Each team played each other. Honestly, a lot of teams have done it. I've been thinking about it. Dallas did it. Kings have done it. Nashville's done it. Teams have done it. I was thinking, I don't know. They've gotten the diversity out there for
Red Wings, Blackhawks.
Has McDavid played outdoors in a Winter Classic?
The Heritage Classic.
Yeah, didn't they do Oilers?
That's the Canadian
Calgary?
one. I guess it's usually. Yeah, the Canadian one is usually the Heritage Classic. That's what they call it.
There's been one Canadian team in the Winter Classic. It was when they played. What is that? Is that Ann Arbor, Michigan? They had Toronto and Detroit play.
That was one of the coolest ones in my opinion.
I like the
Biggest
jersey
one.
setup in that one, actually. Yeah, was it played at Michigan's football field?
Yeah, 100,
yeah, that's what they should
110,000.
do. They should go to
What about Penguins Flyers at Beaver Stadium?
That'd be cool. There's 100,000 seats there. That would sell out.
Yeah, but Penguins and Flyers have been in so many, and the Flyers are an abysmal team to watch.
Yeah, that's what I mean. The Flyers aren't involved in this for like 3 more years.
Last time they were in a Stadium Series type game, they got beat by the Bruins 8-1.
Yeah, that was
Come
bad.
on.
We talked about that. They had no business being invited to that.
Yeah. Keep those Flyers off our TV. Philly listeners get smoked. Your team's bad.
Sorry, Bill.
Stick to football.
Lots of good stuff out of the NHL. Make sure to stay tuned for our picks nightly as we release those on all our social media platforms. Next up, let's go over to the MLB. The only thing we got here is a new contract signing for star third baseman Rafael Devers, and the Boston Red Sox agreeing on a 1-year, $17.5 million contract that has now been extended to 11 years, $331 million. Solid third baseman there. Solid pickup for the Red Sox to secure him for 11 years. Anything on this, boys?
I'm hyped for this. I mean, I've been chirping the Red Sox ownership for a while because they don't like to pay anybody. So it's surprising they actually did that, which is crazy to say with such a big market team. But Mookie Betts, Xander Bogaerts, J.D. Martinez, Nathan Eovaldi, the list goes on and on of who's been Kyle Schwarber. They've just been released for pennies. I mean, about time they ponied up and dished out some dough. But I think it's long overdue. Red Sox Nation really has been calling for this ownership to spend some money on their young superstars, homegrown talent for a while. And I think even at the Winter Classic, they didn't give any applause to John Henry and the rest of the ownership. So they decided maybe it's time to pay some of our drafted talent. And Mookie Betts is going to be a cornerstone of this franchise for years to come. Perennial All-Star. I know, Huff, you said you're a big fan of Raffy Big Scoops, right?
Yeah, I love watching him come up to the plate with an absolute gnaw in his lip. It's just, and he's standing there. Dude, he has one of the most aggressive and intimidating like plate presences, in my opinion. If I'm a pitcher and I see him standing there, like obviously you think of like Aaron Judge and all the big names, but like, dude, I do not want to throw to that dude down the middle. He is taking you yard 10 times out of 10 if you give him what he wants. Like,
and he's got the baby face killer.
Dude, he's the best. I love him. I don't know. And like obviously I'm not a Red Sox guy. I usually gravitate towards the Yankees, but he's always been someone I've just really liked rooting for. And like I like third baseman, so he's someone I can root for.
At that age too, with a DH even future down the line, but he's a great fielder too.
I was gonna say, well, he just played DH. He's pretty good at third base.
Yeah, but he's so young. 11 years isn't even that far. Like third base, like I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Corner infield, you're not doing too much.
Yeah, we've seen the third baseman do it for how many years?
Yeah, look at Alex Rodriguez when he was back there.
Yeah,
on the Yankees.
Even
but,
no. What's his name that just went to the Diamondbacks from the Giants, Longoria? How long was he there?
Yeah,
15 years.
Yeah,
10 years. It feels like
he's still hitting bombs.
Yeah, he's still legit.
Well, he was on the Rays forever.
Yeah, I forgot about that too. Yeah, he's been in the league. How long do you think he's been in the league?
I think he might have been on the Devil Rays. That's how long. Probably like 10, 12 years. 12,
this might
15.
be his like 14th year.
Yep. And I still pick up in fantasy relevant too. So even at an old age in the MLB, we know you can get it done. I mean, one of the better leagues to age out in.
For sure. The least physically demanding, at least from like a offensive standpoint. You don't have any, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, for
I
sure.
feel like if you hear a guy retire after 7 years in the MLB, it's usually something happened. You know what I mean? Injury problems.
Yeah, it's a pitcher.
Like, yeah.
Like, literally.
But
no,
he doesn't have any more ligaments to replace in his throwing elbow.
Yeah, Tommy John too many times. But definitely excited to watch Devers continue to tear it up at Fenway Park, kind of like the Bruins did the other night to your Penguins. So, yeah,
and that,
definitely excited about that.
That park is so perfect for him, too. It's just like a home run.
He'd do well anywhere.
But like those short, I just love watching the big hitters in the short fields. It's just like
the monster.
Yeah, it's too favorable for him. Like, but like you said, he does it in away parks too. So.
But yeah, I after letting go of Bogaerts, I mean, you figured Devers was gonna get paid, didn't you?
I was hoping so, but they don't like to pay anybody, so I'm surprised. Mookie Betts got traded, so.
They just like buying other sports teams.
Yeah, well, that's probably why we won. Had at Fenway Park, own baseball team and the opposing hockey team. They give us a free win. Interesting game.
The Penguins starting goalie is going to go down halfway through the first.
Oh my! Last thing to touch on that game, that Tristan Jerry clearly injured. We didn't get a shot on goal while he's limping around. I was so mad.
What, they couldn't get the play? I didn't see that. They couldn't get the play dead?
No, he stayed in the game for multiple whistles, but he probably got hurt at like the 12-minute mark and came out at like the 4-minute mark.
Yep.
And you could note it was noticeable. His like he couldn't slide over on his right, and every time he get hit by a puck, he'd be like dying, and then he couldn't move at all. And the Bruins they'd get the puck in the zone, just keep it to the outside, get nothing to the net, and then finally a TV timeout. They swapped him.
I was going to say, why would he stay in that game?
I don't know. He had chances to come off too. And DeSmith was motioning to him, but I don't know. Penguin staff was too intrigued with the monster, so you just got to body up Connor Bedard. Guy's a stud, though.
All right, let's keep
Absolutely
going.
ridiculous.
He broke Lindros' record, or is he tied?
Bro, he has like 21 points in 5 games.
What was Lindros' record? Was it 19?
Or maybe it was 31. I don't know, something like that. But he smoked the record, whatever it was.
Hope he goes to the Blackhawks.
He's going to Arizona.
Ew.
You hear Witt talk about it?
Nah.
Witt's like, Bettman's got Arizona up his sleeve. There's no way. And they haven't even won a lottery. So they're like, yeah, they were saving it for this one. And they're just giving everything to Arizona for this draft.
That's some wishful thinking. I really hope it works out and he goes to Chicago. I'd like to see him on a big market in the prime time.
I'd kind of like to see him go to Arizona.
Ugh.
I
wouldn't mind seeing Arizona good. And then see Austin Matthews team up with him back in his hometown.
You know what happened when he goes to Arizona? Everybody be like, I can't wait for him to leave Arizona.
No, Austin Matthews is gonna meet up with him in his hometown, and they're gonna run Arizona.
Because Austin Matthews can't beat the Coyotes. He's just
Exactly, dude. This is all a tactic. He's not beating them on purpose. He's trying to boost their franchise a little.
That'd be sick. In those jerseys they wear too, they're tough.
Yeah, I mean the team's bankrupt though, so and you lose money on the escrow. No way Austin Matthews is going there.
Yeah, I agree.
Nah, I'm just wishful thinking here, but that'd be pretty dope.
Hopefully they're still in the league. Hopefully they're still the Arizona Coyotes by the time Connor Bedard's drafted. Not that far away, but still.
Tons of good stuff there out of the MLB and a little more touch on the NHL there as well. But let's move over to the college football world. The big news here on New Year's Eve, the Buckeyes blew their late lead over the Georgia Bulldogs in the Peach Bowl with an opportunity to take the lead back with 6 seconds left as the East Coast was striking midnight Ohio State kicker Noah Ruggles absolutely shanked would have been the game-winning 50-yard field goal. I know Huff really ate this one up, got us a live reaction that we were able to post. Huff, let's shoot it over to you to start this one off. A tough one there as the clock strikes midnight going into the new year.
Yeah, the timing on that one couldn't have been much worse for me. Wish I would have been on the other side. Or wish I would have just taken the points, but the money line was looking like the right play the entire game. And leading up to the kick, I didn't like the angle he had at it. They were on the left hash, and they didn't really have much of a chance to center it up, obviously, with the play that C.J. Stroud had to get them there. With the amount of time they had left, they knew they were going to get a shot at the field goal after that. A 50-yarder, arguably the best kicker in college football, gets a chance at it to send your team to the national championship. And I think they said he's an Ohio kid, too, so you got to think he's been dreaming of that moment his whole life. And to get the result that came up, and I mean, if you haven't seen it already, go check out our Instagram and the video that I posted, but pretty pathetic attempt, I guess you'd say, at a game-winning field goal. I couldn't even believe it. As soon as it came off his foot, I knew where it was going, right to the wide left, and the rest is history. Georgia wins that game by 1, and we're going to get to see them have a chance to defend their national championship as they win that game. Crazy, crazy game. I mean, all props to Stetson Bennett, who basically showed that he still has it and is still the ability to lead this Georgia team to score these high or to win these high-scoring games. Everyone talks about Georgia and the defense. How are you going to score on Georgia? Ohio State put up 45 points and lost the game. So Stetson Bennett, props to him. Georgia's offense, they did their job. Insane game. You can't wish for I mean, as a fan, that's obviously one of the best endings you could have. Just wish I didn't have Ohio State money line as the last leg of a parlay there, but you win some, you lose some. We're on to the next one, but yeah, tough loss for Ohio State there, but I really would have liked to see them in the national championship, but like I said, you win some, lose some.
You hate to see such a great game with so much talent on the field decided by someone who's place kicking in college football. I think that's one of the toughest things to watch.
And like after he kicked it, he went up to the holder and like was like hugging the holder, like picked him up, like the holder had his head down, like he was the one that fucked something up. So I don't know who did it.
Maybe it was a bad hold.
Absolutely could have been.
I didn't see anything on that, but it definitely could have been. I just that sucks for a game like that. Like I said, to come down to the foot of a college kicker. Like, I don't know. That should have been in the hands of C.J. Stroud, which it basically was, I guess. But
we've seen.
I don't know. He did so much that game. He did more than enough to win that football game, and you just can't let a team hang around like that. You get a 10-point lead on that team late in a football game, and you gotta hold on. You just gotta hold on. There's no excuse for that.
We've seen one of the biggest names in sports media miss that kick before, Ace Pat McAfee for WVU.
Yeah, that's. But he went on to the NFL. I mean, how many
Dude,
of these
Ruggles
kickers?
This
play
guy
in the
will
NFL.
not be in the NFL.
I think he will. He's one of the best kickers in college football, and he's Ohio
Oh,
State.
is he? I didn't know that. I didn't.
How
know
many
that.
how many college football kickers actually go to the league though? Not many, That's my
Yeah, I
point.
feel like they're
It's
like picked
it's-
up off the street more often than not.
Yeah,
Which is crazy.
such a weird position. That's all mental. I mean, I think as time goes on, that we're going to see more and more get better. Just like every position gets better, place kicking will definitely increase. There's more people to look at it as a real position in the NFL.
I hope so, because my boy Boswell's been struggling times this year.
Well,
Yeah,
50
yes.
years ago, think about kicking versus today. Even 30 years ago.
Oh yeah.
Such an important part of the game.
All right, another point here in the college football world. Heisman finalist Matt Dugan and the TCU Horned Frogs will get their chance to dethrone Heisman finalist Stetson Bennett in the defending national champion Georgia Bulldogs after upsetting number 2 Michigan 51-45 in a wild semifinal. Anything about this news here, boys? Lots of good stuff coming into the college football final championship.
Yeah, coming from West Virginia, I mean, this is my opinion, but I just think the Big 12 is awful at football, and TCU is really surprising me here. I didn't think that they were going to be able to stand around with that Michigan team. Max Duggan, I mean, he's better than I thought he was. I'm not going to lie, he is better than I thought he was, and he's leading this TCU team.
So is the receiver that number 1? He's a stud. He's really good.
Duggan's built different though. He's just an athlete. You look at him, you're like, "Yep, that's an athlete." Versus
He
Stetson
is, yeah.
Bennett.
Yeah, what do you think about this game, though? TCU's 12.5-point underdogs, so which way are you leaning? I don't know how you could
Awful
take
love's
Georgia minus
taking the
12.5. How could
Awful
you
love's taking
not in
points.
this game?
Yeah,
Just take
I think
the
I'm
points.
I keep betting against Georgia, and it's not a good strategy, but
You won this time if you took the points.
yeah, I didn't though.
12.5's a lot for any championship game.
I
Yeah,
had a
don't
teaser.
know.
I had a teaser. Michigan minus a half. Fucking lost, but I mean another thing about that Michigan game, we had the under in that one, and there was like 78 points scored in the third quarter. So just a bad look for us on that one. But like I said,
I mean,
sometimes
the
you
game
don't-
just went the
sometimes you just
opposite.
don't have a good read.
It just went the opposite way of what we expected. It happens. It's college football. You're still betting on 18, 19-year-old football players. So, some unexpected things happen. It is what it is. We were on the right side of that Ohio State game, at least for the fact that we knew it was
For
going to be at least a close one.
99.9% of that game, we were on the right side.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. Some wild stuff coming out of those semifinal games coming into the championship. Lots of good stuff, and stay tuned for more on that. Let's jump into some news in the NFL before we jump into our Week 18 analysis. Some sad news coming out of the game on Monday. Bills' Damar Hamlin suffers cardiac arrest on the field versus the Bengals early in the game on Monday after a tackle with Bengals T. Higgins. Hamlin, just 24 years old. Very sad news there. Hoping for the best for him, as always. Any comments here, boys?
Yeah, obviously. you see something like that happen in the game and the game get postponed. I was happy to see that game not get played in that moment. You saw some of the players' reactions on the sideline is what they had to go through, kind of like huddling around. So give the privacy to the player Hamlin in that sense on the field down until they were able to get him out in the ambulance. So never something you want to see, and definitely hopes and prayers for him. But hoping to get him back sooner than later. But just kind of waiting around, staying on updates. He's supposedly still in intensive care at this moment, but has been improving with this being a Wednesday night right now. But yeah, nothing else from that. But just a tough scene on Monday night, and you never want to see that. So, but,
yeah, tough.
Yeah,
you hate to see it. Great guy. Terrible injury. Yeah, that happens. Love to see all the support coming in from all of the organizations and everybody supporting his foundation, and definitely hope for the best for him. Hope he makes a quick, speedy recovery, full recovery.
yeah.
Anything possible.
The outlast support shown by the NFL has kind of impressed me a lot. Like you see all the stadiums lighting up the red and blue with the 3, and all the literally like every team's Twitter account. Like I know that doesn't really do much, but all the teams donating to his Chasing M's toy drive, all the stuff that he does off the field. I think if you look at the GoFundMe, I think the goal was like $25,000. I think right now he's up to $6.5 million. So people just kind of donating money, whatever they can, to his foundation to show support to him. So, but hoping get him back to stable condition sooner than later. So, but yeah, that's really it.
Yeah, you just hate to see it. I mean, such a good guy off the field too. Terrible accident. I don't know. You guys said it best.
Alrighty, and next point here out of the NFL is that as the Miami Dolphins preparing to play this week without their starting and backup quarterbacks, Tua and Teddy Bridgewater, they have signed veteran quarterback Mike Glennon to their practice squad to give him some backup there. Huff, what do you think about this one here coming out of Miami?
Some good news for you Yinzers.
I'm all for any signing that any quarterback they want to pull off the street right now. Maybe let's get Johnny Manziel in a Miami uniform for a game on Sunday.
Please.
That wouldn't hurt.
Tell me how the Steelers and Mike Tomlin always fucking find a way to bring a shitty-ass team into the playoffs. It's going to happen again. I know it's going to happen.
Hall of Fame coach.
Yeah, well, Bill Belichick's sitting over there not winning these, I mean, I guess if they win, they're in, but I don't think...
He's in the same exact spot, Mackie. What are you talking about?
Last year, they were not a playoff... Oh, yeah, they were. 2 years ago, they were not a playoff team.
They were last year, though.
Yeah, skimming of their teeth.
Steelers?
They're not winning that game in Buffalo. Come on. Let's be realistic here. Mac Jones?
Yeah. I love when people say they're not going to do things. That's all right. We'll see. We got a chance. Worry about winning your division.
I mean,
listen, we're in a playoff spot. We're comfy right now. Don't be chirping my Cowboys. They're sitting at 12-4.
Well, the thing is,
also, what did I say? Ace, before the season. Ace, before the season, I said
the rings.
I said those Pats gonna win 8. Those Pats gonna win 8 or 9 games. They're either gonna be sitting at 8-9 or 9-8. And look at, they're sitting at 8-8 going into Week 18. That's insane, man.
You want to know what's crazy? Actually, you remember when you guys laughed at me for saying there could be potentially 3 playoff teams from the AFC East, and all 4 are like in the hunt. That's like nutty.
You're lucky to get two now.
No, I know. Yeah, we'll be lucky to get 2, but it's crazy. Like they're right there.
So what are you talking about? I mean, the NFC East is the actual division that's running the NFL right now.
I mean, the NFC as a whole is just terrible in my opinion.
Oh yeah, I mean, you could say that.
Yeah, I'm not wrong. Did you look at the Pro Bowl quarterbacks when that list came out? I mean, on one side you had Mahomes, Allen, Burrow. On the other side you had like Hurts, Cousins, and like someone else who's not very good.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts is an MVP candidate.
Yeah, he's not very good. It's system QB. It feels nice saying that about someone else.
Interesting. Well, we'll see after Week 18 when Mac Jones isn't able to win a football game in Buffalo.
Oh no, I was referring to people saying about Brady.
No, yeah, I know what you were referring to, and Brady slander is not. We won't really have that here. Big Brady guy.
Yeah, especially after he proved it. Everybody knew, but you prove it when you go somewhere else and win year 1. But Hurts, I think he's a good athlete. I don't think he's MVP level though. nowhere near Burrow, Allen, Mahomes.
In the grand scheme of things, maybe not, but this season, 1,000%, he deserves that. Next year, teams are just going to be able to do more film. They're going to have more film on this offensive.
That's a great roster.
Running, so
we've been saying it all year.
I mean, it's just like you're going to see the same thing with Justin Fields next year. He's obviously going to slow down because teams are going to have more film on him, and they're going to be able to pick up on the things that he does. I mean, it's just what happens. That's why Lamar Jackson had a 2019 MVP season, and he's doing what he's doing now. I mean, it's just how football works.
To counteract your point on Lamar Jackson, though, the thing is, look at the help around Jalen Hurts. He has help at every single position: coaching, O-line, skill position, wide receiver, tight end, running back, defense.
That's why Lamar's not going to stay in Baltimore, in my opinion. They don't want to give him the weapons.
He has nothing. He has a tight end.
He's like, I'll go build my own team somewhere that already has weapons. I'll just walk right into it.
We'll touch on this when we get to the Steelers and Ravens and whatnot.
Dallas, man.
With that game last week, how evident
Would you want him over Dak?
I see. If Dak can't win a playoff game this year, then yeah, 100%.
You have Dak locked up. Like, that's not even.
Could you imagine Lamar in Dallas? That'd be fucking crazy.
No, I just think the place for him to be would be Miami. Even though I hate to say it, but
would be where?
Miami. He's from Miami. He's from South Florida. That's the perfect place. Great weapons.
Yeah, the
great
defense
coach,
is low key kind of ready.
Progressive
coach,
young
Pats
team.
wouldn't see the playoffs for so long.
You're saying that now. Another guy that doesn't have a Super Bowl ring.
What are you talking about?
Jackson, Josh Allen.
Oh, I thought you were talking about my Cowboys. I was like, what?
Oh, Mackie, you're getting sensitive that you don't have any rings over there in a lifetime.
I actually
you can't
don't.
Blame me.
No,
I will have a 3-leg parlay that consists of Bills money line, Jets money line, and Steelers money line.
A Steelers playoff berth parlay.
That's a good bet. Huh?
I mean, yeah, you might as well bet it.
Wait, you need a Jets win? You need a Jets win?
Against Mike Glennon, it's possible.
Against Thompson or Mike Glennon.
Yeah, but still, like the Jets are the Jets. I need a Patriot. I need them to beat with Brett Favre as their QB. They needed to beat such a bad team back in the day. The 1 year Brady was hurt and Matt Castle led the Patriots to 10-6. I think Brett Favre just had to win, and he lost to some really bad team. Are you kidding me? Like, the goddamn Jets, dude.
The goddamn Jets. I hope I'm not saying that on Sunday. I hope I'm drinking the Mike White Kool-Aid around.
I don't know. I feel like that's so Jets to have such a good season and then obviously not make the playoffs, but then finish up the season good as well. You know, just like
we'll talk about it as we get to that game, but it should be that'll be fun to talk about.
Alrighty, and the final point here in the NFL is the Bucs' Week 17 win has secured a spot for Tom Brady in his 14th consecutive playoff appearance. Big props to the man. 14 straight years in the playoffs. It's kind of wild, actually. Anything on that, boys?
Even divorce can't hold him down.
For sure.
14 straight, and like he's won like 19 out of his 22 seasons. Like he's won the division 19 out of his 22 seasons.
Safe to say that guy's pretty good. But yeah, excited to see him turn up at the playoffs and the revival of Mike Evans. We'll get into that more too. But I mean, not a team you want to see down the stretch. Never a team you want to see down the stretch. Tom Brady. Yeesh. NFC, beware. Mac, your Cowboys shaking in their boots.
I am shaking in my boots. It's such a bad matchup for us.
Mackie,
in Raymond James Stadium too, right? Yeah, they won their division, so they're playing at home. That's
Mackie.
crazy.
If Dak has a good game, which is such a big if, that game reminds me so much of Rams Bucks last year in the playoffs when the Rams just had their way with them.
Yeah, I can't see that happening. I would just see a really low scoring game, to be honest. I don't think Tom Brady would be able to move the ball downfield, but Dak would just, I don't know. He's got to prove it to me.
You guys definitely have the better running game.
We can also win the division if we win this week and Eagles lose. Eagles are playing against a pretty tough Giants team this week. I mean, I know Jalen Hurts is back.
They're 14-point favorites, yeah. Who are the Giants sitting? Because they're 14-point favorites.
I don't know. We'll see. Let's jump into some of these games here, boys. Week 18's here, and we're ready for it. Let's start off with our games on Saturday, 4:30 p.m. The Kansas City Chiefs at the Las Vegas Raiders. The Chiefs are a favorite here at 9.5 points. Their money line sitting at minus 450 and the total sitting at 52.5. The trends I got here is that Vegas is 4-3 straight up, 5-2 against the spread in their last 7 games. Has gone 4-0 in the last 4 against the AFC West. And the Chiefs continue their pattern of winning straight up but losing against the spread last week against the Broncos. They're now 9-1 straight up, 3-7 against the spread in their last 10. What do we think about this one, boys? Let's send it to Mackie. Mackie, get us going on this one.
Yeah, did you say Vegas is 4-0 in their last 4 against the AFC West?
Correct.
Wow, that's a stat I wasn't expecting to hear. But Chiefs need to win this game. They clinch up the 1 seed, and they're also 5-0 against the AFC West this year in the division. So I don't see any way this can go wrong for Pat Mahomes. They're going into Las Vegas, so I guess they're not playing on their home field, but they've been able to tear apart this AFC West all season. The past few years, they've had no problem with the AFC West. I don't see Jarrett Stidham being able to do anything against a Chiefs team that's trying to clinch up a number one seed in the AFC. I don't know if you guys disagree with me, but
yeah, I'm definitely right there with you, Mackie. I think they're gonna get that number 1 seed. It's been inevitable. It's funny to think that some people were counting this team out as the weakest link in the AFC West coming into the season, and now Mahomes is right there with another MVP talk. I think we kind of touched on that before the year. We're gonna say if somebody has to have a good season, it's Patrick Mahomes, and he's doing it. And look at the team; they're going that success. Probably one of the most proven teams in the NFL at this point. I can't think of anybody else that comes to the top of the mind with the most consistent success as of late. Weapons everywhere. Travis Kelce, he's prime time. I think that Jarrett Stidham was a bit of a fluke. But I do think Josh Jacobs has a good game to finish up a very good contract year.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of think the Raiders are able to hang around in this game as the Chiefs kind of maybe take things off of going into the playoffs. I know they don't really have. Do they need to win this game with the Chiefs?
They do need
I don't
to
know.
win.
They're still playing for the 1 seed, so obviously we don't know what's going to happen with that Bills-Bengals game that just got postponed / canceled on Monday. But I don't know. In a divisional matchup, a 9-point underdog. I know we saw Jarrett Stidham have a pretty good outing last week against a pretty, obviously one of the top, if not the best defense in the NFL in the 49ers. And I thought Stidham was able to get the job done with the weapons that Derek Carr has had all season, just hasn't been able to do the job. And I don't know. I like the Raiders here plus the 10.
To go off your Stidham point, he's been in that Josh McDaniels offense his whole career, so he does know it to a T. But yeah, I was surprised. I think that's more of a fluke than anything, but we'll see. But one thing I wanted to bring up a point with you saying that them playing, for an important game and a bye and whatnot. I do like that we have 7 teams now in the playoffs because it makes a lot more games much more interesting. There's only 1 bye in each conference, so it's so crucial to secure that if you can. So I
so
I
important.
do think they get the job.
So important.
Health reasons, everything. Free week off, and anybody can beat anybody in my opinion in the NFL, especially this year. So if you can survive 1 week with a bye, nothing better. I think the Chiefs get the job done. 10, maybe a little hefty on the road in a divisional matchup, especially if they pound the rock with Josh Jacobs heavily, who's been having probably a top 5 season of all running backs. Yeah, I'm gonna look at maybe some Mahomes props as he continues his case for 2022 NFL MVP.
Going to be a real interesting 4:30 game there on Saturday. Spread there 9.5. We'll see what happens. Let's move forward to the game 8:15 on Saturday. The Tennessee Titans at the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jaguars are the favorite here at 6 points. Their money line sitting at minus 265 and the over-under sitting at 40. The Titans lost straight up to the Cowboys last Thursday night, but they managed to get a push against the spread. The Jaguars played their starters enough to secure the straight up and against the spread win over the Texans last week, maintaining their late season momentum and giving themselves a chance to make the postseason as a wild card, even if they don't beat the Titans this week. So what do we think about this 6-point spread here? Let's send it to Ace. What do you think?
Yeah, so touching on it last week, Jaguars were my pick of the week, playing such great football lately. Trevor Lawrence staking his claim as the top quarterback of his draft class and a legitimate threat in the AFC South, and now they get to prove it as with a home matchup against the faltering Tennessee Titans, who roll it out with Josh Dobbs. I know with Derrick Henry and Mike Vrabel, though, it's no easy order. Very tall task for a young team out of Jacksonville. I do like the Jaguars to win this week, but I only like them on the money line. 6 points is a lot in such a crucial game. This could be coming down to someone's foot or last possession type thing. I do think Trevor Lawrence continues to cruise, though. Would look for him to throw over 300 yards for sure against one of the biggest pass funnel defenses in the NFL. The Titans defense not offering much. I know Byard had a couple of picks against Dak and the boys last week, but they were more nonetheless tough drops. Yeah, give me the Jaguars to win this division. I was saying it last week. They're playing great football and they're going to carry it over. Going to be a good one to watch though. I think it'll be lower scoring. The over/under you said sitting at 40. I like the Jaguars team total, honestly, in this one. That's going to be my favorite play. Jaguars money line as well. Love that. I don't know how you guys lean on this AFC South bout.
I'm right there with you. I like the Jags. I'm going to take the points, though. I like the -6. I'll take them here. With the Titans, I believe they're still going with Josh Dobbs, and who didn't have a terrible outing, I guess you would say, against the Cowboys. I think in a divisional matchup, I usually say take the points, but I really like the Jaguars and what they're doing here. This home field is going to carry in and have a huge role in this game. I also like the under to what you said. I think it's going to be a slower game. If the Titans aren't able to put up the points, I think the Jaguars cover the game. Maybe it goes under, but I like the spread more. I lean Jags -6.
Yeah, I'm definitely on the same side as you guys in terms of the Jaguars winning this division. I think they get the job done at the end of the day. But I don't know about the 6 points. I feel like it's a little much. I think we could see. I know it's against Josh Dobbs as well, and he's very unproven. But we haven't seen Trevor Lawrence at this stage yet. Every game he's played, 90% of the games he's played, he hasn't really expected to make the playoffs. And they went on a little run recently, winning 4 of the last 5 or something. So they're in a nice spot to win this division after the Titans and Colts were very underperforming. They underperformed heavily this year. So it'll be interesting to see how Trevor Lawrence comes out and plays this game and how he deals with a clinching scenario. But I think it can come out to a slow start, and it can end up being a pretty close game. So I think 6 points is a little too much, but I do think the Jaguars will end up winning this game.
Good stuff there to round out our Saturday. Let's move forward to Sunday. Starting with our 1 o'clock slate, we have the New York Jets at the Miami Dolphins. The Jets are the favorite here at just 1 point. Their money line sitting at -125 and the over-under sitting at 38.5. New York never looked ready to play in its straight up and against the spread loss to the Seahawks last week and was eliminated from playoff contention. The Dolphins managed a late against the spread win and lost straight up to the Patriots. They can still make the playoffs with a win and a Patriots loss, but they'll have to beat the Jets without both Tua and Teddy Bridgewater this week. What do we think about this matchup here at 1 o'clock on Sunday? Mackie, why don't you get us going on this one?
Yeah, as we talked about earlier, there's a lot of implications going into this game. We're going to see Mike White versus Mike Glennon, I think. Is that confirmed that he's playing? Or
I'm looking that up right now.
So we're probably looking at Mike White versus Mike Glennon. I like the Jets to. I don't know. I like the Jets to win this game.
It's not looking good for Tua or Teddy. Dolphins. Mike McDaniel drops Grimm. Tua Tagovailoa. Teddy Bridgewater updates for Week 18 versus Jets.
Well, Tua should never play football ever again, in my opinion. But I like the Jets to win this game. With Mike Glennon coming in, this team has not had any confidence recently. They haven't won a game in 4 weeks now. 5 weeks, coming off a brutal loss to the Patriots. I just don't see them finding a way to figure this game out and make the playoffs. I mean, they win this game, they're in the playoffs. This is not a playoff team. I just think the Jets are a little more well put together team right now. Especially with Mike Glennon coming into quarterback the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I would love the Jets -1. No bias here for the Steelers. I actually do really think the Jets win this game, obviously with the situation and a lot of injuries on the side for the Dolphins, and this game not really meaning too much to them. they're statistically eliminated. I believe I saw last week. Correct with that loss. The Dolphins are out of it, right?
No, the Dolphins win and they're in.
Really?
No,
I thought
Yeah,
I saw last
no,
week they were eliminated.
no. There's a lot. Patriots winning, they're in. Everybody else needs a scenario.
Oh, Dolphins win and Patriots lost and they're in.
Yeah,
But
okay.
I saw the Dolphins have the best chance to make the playoffs
Yeah,
out of the
I
three.
believe that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
that makes sense. Because they're only a
I don't
one.
know.
They're only a 1 point. I like the Dolphins here. I mean, I think their coach and the playmakers around them. I know, um, whoever at quarterback it is, Mike McDaniel is going to make a simple game plan. Whoever it is, he's going to get a lot of work with them this week to get ready for a weak team that's kind of packed it in. Jets not really having a chance to get into the playoffs here, so I like the Dolphins to get it done this week. Only 1 point at home too. Such everybody knows it's tough to play in Miami, as a visiting team, and Mike White, that hype has been going, and there's some tape on him now. I think McDaniels gets it going. They're gonna score too many points, and Zonovan Knight, the hype around him's kind of fallen off as well. Give me the Dolphins here, money line for sure. Love that. Might even see this on the card this week for me. Make it tough for the Patriots at least.
Solid start to the week there. 1 o'clock, Jets and Dolphins. Next one up is the Cleveland Browns at the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers come in as the favorite here at home at minus 2.5 points. Their money line sitting at minus 148 and the over-under sitting at 40.5. The Browns beat the Commanders straight up and against the spread on the road and will look to continue their season by spoiling their rivals' playoff dreams. Pittsburgh winning straight up and against the spread over the Ravens on Sunday Night Football to keep its playoff hopes alive and can get in with the win and losses by the Dolphins and the Patriots. The Browns also haven't finished with a better record than the Steelers since 1989. Huff, let's send it over to you, our Pittsburgh correspondent. What do we think about this one? 1 o'clock in Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Like I said earlier, I'm gonna have the boots on the ground at Acrisure Stadium for this one. I'm gonna be wheeling home the Steelers minus 2.5. I kind of alluded to I like the other two teams in their spots. I like the Jets, and obviously, Ace, no disrespect, I like the Bills on Sunday, but I really like the Steelers in this spot. Whether the other two things happen or not, I like the Steelers minus 2.5 here. This is a huge spot for Kenny Pickett. He's been rolling, and he is him. He's the guy. We've seen that now the past 2 weeks against the Raiders on Christmas Eve, against the Ravens on Sunday Night Football. 2 game winning drives. He's legit. He's been playing. It's just been a steady incline throughout the entire season, and I really like where we're at heading into hopefully a playoff game with him. But if not, he had a hell of a rookie season, and I really like what I have with him at quarterback. But I like the Steelers minus 2.5 here.
Yeah, I've been really liking Pickett's game recently. 2 games in a row where he's needed to drive down the field to win a football game, and he's done it twice. That pass to Najee Harris to win that football game last week was pretty incredible. It was a veteran throw, and as a Steelers fan, you're definitely hyped to see something like that. But yeah, I also like them to win this game this week. I think we'll see another scenario just like the last 2 weeks where Kenny Pickett's going to have to go on a game-winning drive with maybe 8 minutes left, 7 minutes left, and then the defense is going to have to hold strong. But it's going to be a low-scoring game. It's going to be game one in the trenches, and that's where the Steelers really come on top in a lot of these games. Mike Tomlin just a beast in these type of games. Win and have a chance or go home scenarios. So Kenny Pickett will do enough to get this done here. Browns are eliminated already, correct? Yeah, I mean, Deshaun Watson's obviously got something to play for. He's still proving what kind of football player he is. 3-2 since they're 3-2 since he returned. So he's still playing for something. But I do think the Steelers will win this football game on their home turf.
Yeah, not to disagree with you guys, but I would say pump the brakes a bit on the Kenny Pickett talk. I've actually been high on him all year. I think I've said it a few times on the podcast. But only one touchdown or low scoring game the other day, and he still hasn't really proved too much.
That's Steelers Ravens. Don't judge off that.
Yeah, no, but one point you have to remember is they beat Tyler Huntley. In the same score last time they played, I think. Take it with a grain of salt. Obviously, rookie season, great moment, great throw in the moment, but where was that the rest of the game? My thought. On the road, though, love to see it. And then one thing to not underestimate is this Cleveland Browns team. I think this is a tougher matchup, honestly, than the Ravens were last week. Another divisional game, so it's a dogfight, and they can have a chance at taking an arch rival out of the playoff picture with a win. A lot of skill on this Browns team. I think maybe all of us were kind of high on them, at least at the beginning of the year, or at least when they got Watson back. I mean, you have Watson, Chubb, Amari Cooper, David Njoku. I mean, the list goes on both sides of the ball. And they're just kind of a disappointment, just being the Cleveland Browns. Let's say it as it is. But a chance to maybe finish tied for last in the division here. A win here puts them at the same token as the Pittsburgh Steelers. So two teams at the same peg going at it. I'm honestly not going to have a play on it. Definitely going to watch this game. Going to be an interesting, tightly contested one. Steelers and Kenny Pickett should find more offense in this game against a bad Browns defense. So maybe that makes me lean Pittsburgh. But the skill on that Cleveland side, and they can beat anybody when they're on their game. I mean, last week we were all in consensus on Washington, thought about team carding on last week's pod, and Cleveland handled them. They like showing up when the stakes aren't very high for themselves, when their season doesn't really matter. So, divisional match between these two games is going to be a great game. I know Huff and Jesse are definitely throwing Pittsburgh -3 on their card. Going to be a tough one. I might take the over. I kind of lean with 40, but this is going to be a hotly contested game, and with such inexperience on the offensive side for the Steelers, and then a Browns team which we never know which team's going to show up. Going to stay away from me, but lean Steelers. I'll lean Steelers with it.
To get back on Kenny Pickett real quick, I don't really think he's. I'm not jumping the gun on him. I don't think he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league just yet. But he looks like a system quarterback who can get the job done at the end of the day, and that's Steelers football. That's who Mike Tomlin needs. That's who Mike Tomlin needs. So I think he's right where he needs to be, and I think he'll have a pretty successful career if he stays on the same track.
You know what's weird? You know who looked exactly like Kenny Pickett when he played the other day? Don't take this with anything, because I think it was just a one-game thing, but Jarrett Stidham looked like Kenny Pickett playing the other day. I was like, what? He's like rolling out and like
no, I know what you mean.
Like they look the same, and I was like, I didn't expect that from Jarrett Stidham. Not to get back on that, that's such a weird.
I don't think anyone.
I think Kenny Pickett's gonna have a solid future in the league, but I don't know. It's a trap game. This is tougher spot than people think. This Browns team, even though they're dead, not an easy matchup for their rival Steelers.
I agree, and if it is, I've bit the cheese in the trap with the Steelers before. I'll do it here, but I'll take them. It's the home field in the division. The Browns won the game in Cleveland early on in the season. I'll take the Steelers.
Ride that defense all day long, Huff. That's what you got to do.
Minka, TJ, I'll take my chances.
Last point on the Steelers too. I am a big fan of Jalen Warren. He's going to be a good player too.
He's good,
1-2
dude.
punch with Najee Harris.
I saw the stats he's having for an undrafted rookie running back. It's like he only has one touchdown, but he has like 600 yards.
Yeah, I mean, it should be an interesting game. For Steelers don't like scoring points or giving them up, but the Browns love giving them up. So
I was just gonna say that, and it's not like Najee has a ton, but obviously when we're on the goal line, you go to Najee.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's a power back. Filling his role
do
perfectly.
it for
That's
me
why
on.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised he caught that pass from Kenny Pickett to win the game. I don't think he's a very good receiving back.
Can we talk about? Did anyone realize how close I was 3 different times to that first touchdown on the card?
Oh my god.
That's
a tough one to watch too, Huff, because it's such a slow game.
Oh, and it was that drive. I'm like, I took it with my cousin, and he was like, dude, we get a stop here. We have a chance. I'm like, you're right, and then we literally got it. We get down there, and that false start or whatever brought us back, the offensive holding. I'm like, nope, not getting it. And that was.
And they didn't need to. They were pounding the rock perfectly and overcomplicated it.
Yep.
You hate to see it. That's all right. That'll be a good one this week at Acrisure Stadium at Heinz Field.
And the worst part is I took the anytime last week in the Raiders game, and he didn't hit it. I should have taken the anytime this week. I got greedy.
Be a good divisional one at Heinz this week.
Yes, absolutely. A great divisional game here at Acrisure Stadium on Sunday, 1 o'clock. The next one up is the Houston Texans at the Indianapolis Colts. The Colts are our favorite here at 2.5 points. Their money line sitting at -140 and the over-under sitting at 38. Houston lost straight up and against the spread to Jacksonville last week and is just 2-13 straight up and 6-9 against the spread in its last 15. The Colts were crushed straight up and against the spread by the Giants last week and are only 1-9 straight up and 3-7 against the spread in their last 10. Ace, you want to get us rolling on this one? Texans and Colts at 1 o'clock.
Yeah, another divisional matchup, but if there was ever a time for me to tell you to stay away from an NFL game, it would be this one. Davis Mills versus Sam Ehlinger. 5 years from now, you will say those names and people won't even know what you're talking about. They have Royce Freeman and Zach Moss starting in the tailbacks. Not much to look forward to in this one.
I was gonna say I didn't even look into this game, so wouldn't even take my own opinion on this game. So
yeah, stay away. These two teams don't even want to play. I'm surprised there's going to be fans in the stands. It might just be open season to get in.
You're gonna see some practice players out there.
Keep in mind the Texans are trying to lose so they can have the number 1 overall pick, because I think if something weird happens, the Bears get like close to them.
Oh, that's a good point, Huff. And the thing is, Sam Ehlinger is not going to win a football game in the NFL, but maybe he does with that tanking mentality. Yeah, last point I'm going to say on this game is if someone plays really well, maybe they'll be in the XFL in a few years. So, good luck.
Do the Bears have 3 wins?
Yeah. So if Bears lose and Texans win, Bears have the number 1 pick. Texans are going to lose this game. Just for that reason, this is an awful game. Definitely the worst game of the week.
Texans will do everything they can to lose this game. That is all I have to say.
Excited to see what comes out of that one. Let's move over to our next one. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Atlanta Falcons. The Falcons are the favorite here at -4. Their money line sitting at -200, and the over/under sitting at 40.5. The Bucks broke.
Another one I'd stay away from.
True that. The Bucks broke through against the Panthers and won straight up and against the spread to secure their NFC South last week, and are now 3-3 straight up, 1-5 against the spread in their last 6. The Falcons won straight up over the visiting Cardinals, but lost against the spread, and they are only 3-7 straight up, 2-8 against the spread in their past 10 contests. Mackie, what do you think about this one? The Bucks and the Falcons.
Yeah, obviously the money line and the spread are sitting where they are because Bucks don't have nothing to play for. They're probably going to sit every single one of their starters. I don't know. I don't really have much input on this game. If you're not going to see the actual Bucks team, then I don't know. I can't really give out information on a team I've never seen before. Just stay away from this game, I guess. See what Desmond Ridder can do.
They're barely good enough to bet on with their starters, let alone their backups. So, another game, maybe just stay away from it. It's a divisional matchup, and like you said, this could be kind of a showing for Desmond Ridder. But I don't know. I'd stay away as well.
I know that you said that they might be resting some starters down there in Tampa Bay, but I do think they get the job done and solidify the division. I don't think Tom Brady and the boys are going to end the season as a negative record, especially against a bad Atlanta Falcons team. Even if they take him out, I don't think Ridder can do much against such a strong defense. I like the Bucs to win this one. Money line too. That's a nice play. I think they finished 9-8 going into the playoffs on a high note. Coming off that win too. I just don't see anything from Desmond Ridder, really.
I don't either.
Yeah. And he doesn't have
You
much help.
got to win last week.
Against Cardinals.
Yeah, against the backup Cardinals. No D-Hop, no Kyler. I mean, come on.
Yeah, but he still let a game
another tough game. Probably not going to see this on the card, but I do lean Bucks money line just for that momentum.
You're itching because you missed out on them last week.
Oh, always itching to bet on the Bucks and the Patriots. I mean, Tom Brady and the Patriots, I should say. Those are two teams that I'm like, I gotta. But yeah, lean Bucks, but won't be a card for me this week.
We will see based on who officially gets ruled out for this game and such, and where this line moves based on that. There, 1 o'clock. Another 1 o'clock matchup here is the Carolina Panthers at the New Orleans Saints. The Saints are the favorite here at 3.5 points. Their money line sitting at -185, and the over/under sitting at 41.5. The Panthers lost straight up and against the spread to the Bucs to end their playoff hopes. Despite that loss, they're still 4-3 straight up, 5-2 against the spread in their last 7, and 5-1 against the spread in their last 6 against the NFC. The Saints rode an impressive defensive performance to a straight-up and against the spread win over the Eagles and are 4-2 straight up, 4-2 against the spread in their last 6. What do we think about this matchup? Ace, you want to get us rolling here?
Yeah, definitely. Saints. It's funny. I called that on the pod last week. I figured they were going to beat those Eagles. Just to spite them because they have that first round pick. But going against a weak Carolina Panthers team this week, I think they should be able to easily handle the job. Finish the season at 8-9. Too much skill on the Saints side of the ball for that young Panthers team. Low scoring one, I think, in this one with two solid defenses, but the Saints get it done at home in the dome. I'd take the 3. I'd take the 3 though. I'd buy that half a point for sure.
What's the line that we have?
I have 3.5.
I have 3.5. Yeah, for the Saints.
Yeah, I don't know. This Panthers team's been pesky. Obviously, we've seen, but I don't know. I lean Saints here too. I'll take the -3 as well. I'd like to buy that hook, but probably another one you won't see on my card. I was trying to look up who's going to be sitting in and out in this one. It's another one I didn't really dive too much into, but I like the Saints at home. Their defense has been obviously the only thing they have going for them most of the season, and I think they're able to stop that Panthers rushing offense that has kind of picked up and found its way through the second half of the season. But I like the Saints.
Yeah, I'm kind of on the other side of you guys here. I mean, game really no playoff implications, but you got Sam Darnold playing for a spot next season. I mean, he's got to do something to prove that he deserves a starting job next season. It's gonna be a more defensive game. Obviously, I think the Saints are definitely the better defensive team, and but I don't know. I think Sam Darnold can do a little more than Andy Dalton could do. Yeah, I don't know. It's just a pretty shitty game. There's zero playoff implications. I just think Sam Darnold's gonna really be playing for his career here. 3.5 points. I'll take the points on a divisional game.
Yeah, not a great game there. But let's round out our 1 o'clock slate with the Minnesota Vikings at the Chicago Bears. The Vikings, the favorite here, they're getting 8.5 points. The money line at -360 and the total sitting at an even 43. The Vikings were crushed straight up and against the spread by the Packers and are 4-3 straight up, 2-5 against the spread in their past 7 games. The Bears lost straight up and against the spread to the Lions and are 1-12 straight up, 4-9 against the spread in their last 13 matchups. Another, I don't know. I don't like this game very much. 8.5's a lot here. Coming up against that Chiefs team and stuff with that 9.5. Huff, you want to get us rolling?
Yeah. So this is another tough one. Obviously, divisional matchup, but we don't get to see Justin Fields in this spot. We're going with Nathan Peterman in Chicago, so definitely not going to be betting on the Bears here. But looking at the total, I think it's 43.5. So I'd lean under. I don't think the Bears are going to get too much done, but I like the under 43 over anything. But Vikings still obviously a tough outing last week against the Packers, but we'll have to see if they can bounce back here, sitting at a 12-4 record, and the Bears, like I said, playing for potentially the number 1 overall pick. And I don't know if they want to blow that by upsetting the Vikings here. So I think that's part of the reason they're elected to go with Nathan Peterman and let Fields kind of nurse this injury, but we'll see.
The line's gonna be crazy on it, but my favorite play of the day will be a Nathan Peterman interception. Guy just knows how to throw it to the other team. Probably one of the best in the league at it.
It's a good take.
Yeah, I mean, it's Nathan Peterman. We're definitely gonna see some turnovers in this game. I don't know. I think the Vikings can win in blowout fashion this week. This type of games where they definitely prove that this is one of the games where they have their 12 wins because they beat teams like these. They handle them pretty well. Kirk Cousins this going to throw for 350 yards, 3 touchdowns. Jetta's going to have a sick game as well. I mean, it's just probably just stat night for the Vikings just going into the playoffs where they're going to lose first round. I don't know. I just think this is a good chance for them to blow out an opponent before they get let down first round.
I like that.
Solid 1 o'clock slate there, boys. Some good ones, some bad ones, but let's jump into our 4 o'clock games and see if we can make up for those. First 4 o'clock game we got is the Los Angeles Rams at the Seattle Seahawks. The Seahawks are the favorite in this one at -7. Their money line sitting at -290, and the over-under sitting at 41.5. The Rams look good on Christmas, but lost an ugly one straight up and against the spread to the Chargers last week. They're now sitting at 2-8 straight up, 3-7 against the spread in their last 10. Seattle won straight up and against the spread against the Jets last week and can still make the playoffs with a win and a loss from the Packers. What do we think about this one? Seahawks here, -7, just need a win to get in the playoffs. Again, with the loss from the Packers. Ace, what do you think?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy because I've been bashing Geno Smith all year, but that Rams team is in such shambles and has nothing to play for. I think that Geno gets it done this week and brings home a victory and gives himself a chance at a playoff berth in a very big year for him and the Seahawks, just overachieving everybody's expectations. A lot of young guys on both sides of the ball doing their job. Kenneth Walker III, stud running back. Tariq Woolen on the defensive side. But, I'm probably going to take the money line here too. This would be a good one to throw in with the Jaguars in a money line parlay. Maybe a 2-team, 3-team parlay. I find someone else to throw them with them. Maybe Chiefs, Jaguars, and Seahawks here. Get a nice little plus play on 3 money line teams that I like a lot. 6.5 is a lot in a divisional matchup. Even though I think they have potential to blow them out, that Rams defense can be formidable at times, and Baker Mayfield loves those backdoor covers with the heaves at the end. I wouldn't be surprised to see Huff go with his Baker Mayfield under passing prop play. I think he loves that ever since he got moved to. He's actually loved it ever since he's been throwing the football for any team this year. He's doing it for both squads. But yeah, I like Geno to give himself and the Seahawks playoff berth, especially at home. Tough place to play for Baker and co. Not a lot of weapons with him, so. I think that Geno and the boys have a day.
I like the Rams, but I'm gonna take the points here. I think the Seahawks do win this game, but I think it'll be closer. I like maybe an ending field goal to send the Seahawks to the playoffs, and a win and you're in situation. But
they're
I like
not.
The Rams with
they
the
need
points
they
here.
need the Packers to lose.
Okay, well, they'll have a chance. I like the Rams. I think they keep it close.
Yeah, I'm kind of on the same side as you, Huff. I think 6.5 points is a little too much in a divisional game. But we saw Geno Smith and that Seahawks team get it done last week in a winner you're out situation, and I think they'll do it again against another inferior opponent. Baker Mayfield showed what he really was last week. 25 pass yards, 0 touchdowns. They didn't really do anything. Got blown out, 31-10. So I think that the Seahawks will be able to do enough this week to get another win and put themselves in their best chance to get that 7 seed and hope for a Packers loss. But 6.5 points is just a little too much in a divisional game where both teams are kind of inconsistent and unpredictable. So I like the Seahawks to win this game. Maybe on the foot of who's their kicker?
Will Myers still?
Is it? Yeah, it definitely is. Yeah, maybe on the foot of Myers. 25-yard chip shot.
Geno drives them down the field with some time left. They win by 3.
I could see that. Good take, boys.
I do like the Rams +7 though.
Yeah, 2 big spreads coming up here in the 4 o'clock slate. First up is the New York Giants at the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles are the favorite here at 13.5 points. Their money line sitting at -900 and the over-under sitting at 43. The Giants won straight up and against the spread over the Colts and locked up a playoff spot despite going just 2-4-1 straight up and 5-2 against the spread in their last 7. The Eagles lost straight up and against the spread and will need a win in this matchup or a loss by the Cowboys to secure the division title and the number 1 seed. 13.5 points is a ton here. What do you think? Mackie, you want to get us rolling?
Jesse, can you say that thing at the end that they need what to happen?
The Eagles will need a win in this matchup or a loss by the Cowboys to secure the divisional title and number 1 seed.
Okay.
13.5 point favorites?
Yeah.
Dude, is Daniel Jones out or is Saquon out?
No, this is the point. The Giants can't change their seeding at all.
Oh, okay,
They're gonna
okay.
be
So
they're
they're not
the
gonna.
seed.
Well, that changes a lot then. Yeah, so we're gonna see another game where a team's not gonna be 100%. We're gonna see a lot of backups in this game, so a lot of uncertainties in this game. I just think that 13.5 is way too much with so many uncertainties. I think the Eagles will win this game, obviously, if they're gonna play all their starters and the Giants aren't. But I don't really have a play on this game. Maybe look at some props, some Jalen Hurts props as he gets back into the game. Maybe some Miles Sanders touchdown or something. Yeah, I don't. That's all I really have to say about this.
Yeah,
I don't know.
such a crazy game with so many different scenarios of who's going to be in, who's going to be out. Team goes up, team goes down. Both are already in the playoffs. I know that the Eagles want the win so they can get that 1 seed and not have to play on the road. But at the same time, the Giants are playing for nothing. I don't know. I'm staying away as well, Mackie. Huff, you have a play on this one?
I don't know. I kind of like the Eagles minus the 14. I want to see, because if Daniel Jones and Saquon are playing, I don't think there's much.
They're starting.
They're starting, but they don't think they're going to play the whole game.
Yeah, that's what it's looking like to me.
Dude, I don't know. I think
And you never know. You never know with that.
there's so much money on the Giants. It's just telling me to take the Eagles and not ever think this one.
What's that Giants money line? Just out of curiosity.
Giants money line sitting at plus 600.
Ooh,
No, thank you.
yeah.
That's a lot though for a fucking regular season game. But I
Jalen
think
Hurts hasn't played in 2
7-0.
weeks.
The next one's even more.
It'll be 7-0 before they even realize it.
I don't know. If they start their starters, stick around, divisional game, kind of kick the can on the Eagles, blow up in their own face, lose that division, go into a wild card round.
They don't need to win this week. They need to win next week.
I don't know. I'm staying away. Scary scenario.
I'm not really saying it. It was more for conversation, but I just
Mackie,
see
you
those
think
big
there's a chance that they can get it done?
Who, the Giants?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, if they play their starters the entire game 100%, I think this Giants team is rolling. I don't know why you would take the momentum away from them as well. I mean, they're playing really good football right now. You might as well play the entire game. See how you can do it against.
Coming off a loss.
What?
They're coming off a loss, and Jalen Hurts hasn't played football in 2 weeks.
Oh, the Eagles. Yeah, I was like, no, the Giants
back
just
losses.
cooked the Colts. But I don't know. I think
the Eagles need a win desperately to. I think you can't go into the playoffs with 3 losses in a row.
Dude, they lose a division also if they lose.
Right? You go from home field advantage with a win, or playing in Tampa Bay with a loss. That's crazy.
Just like last year.
That season would have flipped so quick, dude.
Quick.
They were
And Coach of the Year goes up in the air.
I think it's still Dable or Tomlin.
I think, imagine Lions win, Eagles lose,
Dan
and lose a
Campbell.
division. Dan Campbell is the Coach of the Year.
It all depends on this final week for that award, definitely. So you can sneak their way in. Eagles lock it up, and we'll sound like idiots even debating this if they blow them out by 40. But at the same time, if the Eagles can drop this game, somehow Giants pull this in front of them, think about that Eagles season and how confident they are and whatnot.
All the people at the beginning of the season that like the Eagles, they were all like, "Oh, Super Bowl, Super Bowl, Super Bowl." It's like, they're not looking too hot right now. We'll have to see how Jalen Hurts bounces back from this little injury he had over the past couple of weeks, and I don't know. It's gonna be interesting.
I would love to see this fucking Philadelphia team fall apart. Jimmy would never hear the end of it.
They could be in shambles like that hockey team they got out there.
That excuse of a hockey team they have out there.
Yeah, they have John Torley yelling at people on ice.
Cutting or scratching Kevin Hayes, like scratching your
Yeah.
best player.
I mean, their best player could be playing the Archers.
Yeah.
Tough spread there, 13.5. We got a big one ahead of us here at 14. The Arizona Coyotes. I almost said the Coyotes. The Arizona Cardinals at the San Francisco 49ers.
The Coyotes.
Yeah, I hope not.
It might
almost
as
just
well
said,
be.
what's wrong?
No one wants to see these Cardinals.
The
Seriously.
Coyotes would show up and give a better fight than the Cardinals do. Colt McCoy, throwback to like 2010.
The 49ers are the favorite here in this one at 14 points. Their money line sitting at a solid minus 1,000. The over-under sitting at 40.5. The Cardinals lost straight up to the Falcons, but did win against the spread in their narrow 1-point loss. 49ers won straight up in overtime, but lost against the spread against Vegas last week. 14 points, crazy number here. Cardinals money line at plus 650. What do we think is going to happen here? Huff, you want to get us rolling?
Yeah, I don't know. We've obviously seen Purdy just continue to have success. Last week was obviously his first kind of real test. I know he had a kind of a back and forth with the Commanders for a little bit, but we saw Stidham put up a fight in that game against the 49ers, and Purdy was able to get the job done. I mean, I know the defense got the interception off Stidham in overtime, but Purdy had to put up all those points, and the defense did their job and got the win basically for the 49ers, but I don't know. I can't bet against this 49ers team right now, especially off that game. I feel like they have something to prove here. But I don't know. This is just another game I'm going to stay away from.
Yeah, I mean, I rode the Niners last
There's
week.
There's a lot of games this week that I bet if you just teased every game this week with a 10-point or higher spread, you'd get like 20, 21 points. But like you got to be selective because I'd probably take one out because one of them is going to get blown out by 20 or more.
How are you going to choose the one, though?
You got to pick which one you think it is.
Yeah, but like...
gamble.
I like the Niners minus 14 this week. I really
Part
do.
of it.
I kind of like him, too. I think they get the job done. I mean, Brock Purdy's been
Such
rolling.
easy.
I took him last week. Obviously, they didn't cover that 9.5 points. I just didn't expect Jared Stidham to be able to...
This would probably be the one I took out.
What?
This would probably be the one I took out. And I would tease the 49ers to like minus a half.
Minus a half. I think the 49ers, they're going to get the job done. They're going to lock up that 2 seed and probably get the Packers in the first round. But I don't know. 14 points is a lot. You won't see this on my card.
No, I won't see it on my card, but I might be taking that off. I lean that 14. I think McCaffrey gets in the end zone again, follows that trend. A lot of points flying on both sides. We have the over-under at 40.5. I think I might love a 49ers team total over here. Probably sitting somewhere at like, what, 28, 27.5?
They haven't lost since McCaffrey got there.
Dude, they're 9-0 in their last 9. They started the season 3-4, now they're 12-4.
Remember that Sunday or Monday night game? It was like 11-10 against the Broncos.
That was the Colts, wasn't it?
No. There was one 49ers Broncos that was brutal too.
Broncos are just full of those games.
They just all blend together. Did you guys see that stat with my boy Russ, though? 3rd all-time in quarterback rushing yards. That's kind of a sick stat, though.
That's what happens when you can't throw it.
You can throw. You've seen him over the past 10 years.
No, Russ is a dog. I just had to say that. Yeah, no, that's a cool stat.
I was surprised to see that 3rd all-time. Like, that'll get beat, but because
it's just the longevity of it.
No, he's one of the most consistent.
He hasn't had an injury until the game.
He's not run first, though.
Last year, as soon as I saw the Seahawks were coming to Pittsburgh, and obviously he was a Seahawk, I bought the tickets to that game. The first game in 9 years he misses is in Pittsburgh. I was like, my fucking luck.
Yeah, Mr. Unlimited is pretty limited that week.
We won that game, though. We probably wouldn't have won that game if he would have played. I saw Gino in that game.
That's
I
hype.
didn't know he was going to be him yet.
True
That was
that.
when he was just Gino covers.
Yeah.
He didn't win. He just covered.
Few more 4 o'clock games here. The next one up is the Los Angeles Chargers at the Denver Broncos. The Broncos are the favorite here at -1. Their money line sitting at -130 and the over-under sitting at 40. The Chargers won straight up and against the spread against the Rams last week. They're 4-0 straight up, 3-0-1 against the spread in their last 4 games. Denver won against the spread but lost straight up for the second time in the last 4 weeks to the Chiefs. And they're actually 4-1 against the spread in their last 5 games, despite being 2-11 straight up since the beginning of October.
They've been a wagon against the spread. They've been getting all these huge spreads.
Yeah.
They've been very profitable the past couple of
Makes
weeks.
sense.
Clearly.
Take it away. What do you guys think?
I don't know. This is an interesting spot. Obviously, they're a favorite in a divisional matchup here. What, go ahead.
Wait, what do you have the line at?
The Broncos are
Mine-
favored in this one.
Yeah,
by 2
Broncos are
points.
-2.
Yeah, I
I
said
think
the
it's
Broncos
because
are a
another
favorite here.
scenario here where the Chargers can't change their seating.
Well, yo,
Yeah.
they can if the Ravens, but if the Ravens lose, Ravens play at 1 o'clock. So if the Ravens lose, then they can't change their seating.
I said, but I did I not say the Broncos? We have the Broncos as a 2.5 point favorite. I thought it was weird, just like right off the bat. I thought that
Oh,
was
I don't know.
weird.
I didn't hear that. My bad. If I missed that. I thought you were talking about the
I
Chargers.
thought because you guys
They're
said
such
we're
a
I
like
did
bad
say a
team,
different
though.
spread,
I can't.
but everything else is the same.
How are they favored?
It's because the Chargers aren't going to play anyone when the Ravens lose this football game, so they're
Yeah,
not going to move.
I like the Broncos here. I'll take the Broncos -2.5.
I think
Broncos
you could
country.
put the Broncos against
Let's
some
ride. One last time,
high school teams.
Broncos country.
Lose.
Let's ride.
Huff has to keep riding them. He has to though. Like, what are you gonna do? Stop?
Yeah,
him?
at this
No, it's the
point.
last time. I'm gonna go against them.
I have
Not
a
carding it, but the Chargers. I mean, it's like one of those depth scenarios and whatnot. I think the Broncos are bad enough to lose the game. And all is all.
I have a Chargers Super Bowl ticket plus 2,200. I don't know if that's good or bad, but one day I liked it and I took it.
Nice.
I just don't
donation
think
there, Huff.
we're not going to see a full Chargers team here. So
Nobody's gonna be watching this game with another throwaway game in Week 18 last week of the season. Not gonna be on my card particularly.
All right, let's jump over to our last 4 o'clock game. Mackey's Dallas Cowboys at the Washington Commanders. Cowboys are our favorite at -7.5 points. Their money line sitting at -350 and the over-under sitting at 41. The Cowboys won straight up and against the spread over the Titans last Thursday night and can still claim the #1 seed in the NFC with a win and an Eagles loss. The Commanders lost straight up and against the spread to the Browns last week and have been eliminated from playoff contention after going 0-3-1 straight up, 0-4 against the spread in their last 4 games. Mackie, do you think the Cowboys can take care of 7.5 points here? What do you think?
yeah, I think they should. I mean, they're going to be playing all their starters. They could still, in their eyes, win this division. But 7.5 points is a lot, especially in a divisional matchup. I think they're going into Washington. Yeah, they're going into Washington. So I don't know. I think 7.5 points is a little too much to touch in this game, but I definitely wouldn't bet against the Cowboys in this situation, as you know, they're in the regular season. This team is pretty freaking good. So, in a chance where they can win the division, I think they'll definitely take care of business.
Huff, Ace, what do you guys think?
Yeah, I'm with Mackie on this one. I think that they definitely need to win this one, especially with hopes of winning the division. They have to get it done against this Commanders team that's already out. I'll buy the 0.5 point to take a -7 here. They've been playing some tough football games, but still finding a way to win. And I'm a firm believer in that defense. They'll come around and really have a statement win to finish off the season. Yeah, Commanders aren't giving much. They got Sam Howell at the QB this week, so he's going to be under pressure all game long from D-Law and Michael Parsons. We've been gassing up that top 5, top 3 Cowboys defense, and they're going to look to go on a deep playoff run. So big one here. If we can get an upset in the Eagles game, then who knows? Maybe we see the Cowboys taking that division. Who would have thought? I got a futures bet on them, so that'd be a nice scenario for me.
I saw Taylor Heineke starting this game.
I just read Sam Howell was.
Okay. My original play, I like the over of 40.5, but I'd have to look into that with Sam Howell if that's official or not. I saw they were thinking about going with both of them, or maybe they were deciding between the two of them, and they just decided on
Probably
Sam Howell.
both. I bet you it's going to be both.
Okay. But
Yeah, most
I don't
likely.
know if we get Taylor Heineke, I kind of like I like the over. I think Heineke's able to put up a touchdown or 10 points. And obviously, I think the Cowboys have their way with them, but I'll ride the over whether it makes it to my card or not. I don't really like the spread either way in this one, so I like the over 40.5.
Solid picks there, boys, to round out that 4 o'clock slate. Let's jump into this primetime game here on Sunday. The Detroit Lions taking on the Green Bay Packers at Lambeau Field in Green Bay. The Packers are the favorite here at 4.5 points. Their money line sitting at -225 and the over-under sitting at 49.5. The Lions won straight up and against the spread over the Bears and are finishing the year strong with a 7-2 straight up, 8-1 against the spread run over their last 9. The Packers won straight up and against the spread against the Vikings and now control their playoff hopes in a win-and-get-it matchup against Detroit that was moved to Sunday Night Football. Green Bay is 4-0 straight up, 4-0 against the spread in their last 4. Lots to go off of in this matchup. Let's send it over to Ace to get us going. Packers favored by 4.5 here.
Yeah, this one we're definitely going to have to tune into our social media for my official play come Sunday night because I keep teeter-tottering on which team I like. I really love that money line for the Detroit Lions. I think they're a better team top to bottom, have a lot more going for them. And wouldn't it be great to make the playoffs for the first time and knock out Aaron Rodgers? But at the same time, we've seen him do it time and time again in Lambeau Field, owning that division. What a spot. I mean, they're so hot, one of the hottest teams in the NFL. So, yeah, no official play yet, but just know I will have something cooked up for this one. I'm eager to hear what Huff and Mackey have to say about this divisional bout for the playoffs.
I really like this Detroit team, but I'm not in this situation against Aaron Rodgers trying to get into the playoffs. You've seen this so many times with Aaron Rodgers in clutch scenarios. He's taken this team from 4-8, I think they were. I think they're on a 4-game winning streak, if I'm not wrong. They had 0 life, and now they're sitting there with all the life in the world, controlling their own destiny. And I really like Aaron Rodgers in this spot over Jared Goff. Even though I do really like this Lions team, they've had a chance to win a few games down the road that they just haven't won. Lost a few weeks ago to the Panthers, 2.5-point favorites. That was a game they really had to win. So we've seen this team underachieve when they've really had their backs up against the wall, and I think that's going to happen again in Week 18. We're going to see one of the best quarterbacks of all time win a football game against against a team that he's owned his entire career.
Yeah, I'm right there with you guys. I like the Packers here on their home field. The 4.5's a weird number. I might buy the hook and get the 4, just because I don't know. I feel like there could be a weird last second push by the Lions, whether they get the points or not. I don't know why the 4 would come into play, but I don't know. I don't love 4.5, but I like the Packers. Ace, I know you said you like the Lions money line. I think I could see the Packers money line in a parlay for me this week. Maybe just kind of avoid the points and just get the Aaron Rodgers to get the job done and make it to the playoffs and like you said, one of the hottest teams in the league right now. How Lions would it be to be this hot of a team? You make it this far, and your season comes down to the hands of Aaron Rodgers in Lambeau Field, and they just can't get it done. And this has been going to be the first time. And the ultimate test is this the brand new Lions, or is this the same old Lions? And we're gonna have to see what Dan Campbell and Jared Goff can cook up this week.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a Sunday night shootout too. Honestly, over 49 is a good play by me. I think Jared Goff is going to be getting some points on their side, and then Rodgers will be able to tear up that light defense. So it's going to be a fun one to watch. Huff, no official pick there on the Lions yet. I mean, it's going to be a game time decision for me, but I will have a play on this game for sure.
Yeah, you good point on that over. I took that over last week on the Packers-Vikings game, and thank God the Vikings got that last-second touchdown when they did because I needed that very badly. And I do like that over in this one. I might look at that one here again.
Alrighty, boys. Great Week 18 slate ahead. Games on Saturday and Sunday. Looking forward to a bunch of them. That's all I got this week. Send us your plays, your picks, your winning tickets, winning and losing reactions. We want to see them. That's all from me this week. You guys got anything else?
No, that's going to do it for me. We'll see you guys next week. Obviously, NFL playoffs right around the corner, and we've been killing it in the NHL, winning night last night, and NBA, NCAA basketball. I think all the sports cards are up right now, so definitely going to be something you want to stay tuned to the social medias and stuff like that. Big news coming to the social media as well with the pod next week, so stay tuned to that. Can't wait for the NFL playoffs. Let's have a good Week 18, and we'll see you guys next week. Thanks for listening.
Sir, couldn't have said it better myself.
Mackie Jinx. It's going to be a big one. A lot of big games for us. Here. All of our teams with some potential big earnings this weekend if they can get the job done. And it's my favorite time of the year with all the other sports in full swing too. So check them out. Hit the books.
It's
Go Pats.
Just like you guys said, a lot of games with a lot of playoff implications this week. It's the week of the irrelevant games, and it's the week of the most important games. So, you have a good balance of both of them. So it should be a good week.
And that's going to do it for us on this episode of Hit the Books. Thank you to everyone who tunes in each and every week. Without you, we wouldn't be able to do what we do here. So please like, share, and subscribe wherever you can. And don't forget to check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for our plays each and every night in the NHL, NFL, MLB, NBA, college basketball, and college football. Thank you again, and see you next week.